Hello and welcome to another episode of Siena Saints Weekly. I'm your host, BB Bucks, here to bring you all the news around your Siena Saints. So let's get right into things by answering last week's trivia question. We wanted to know who was the Saints' top finisher in women's golf's first MAC championship win. The correct answer was Stephanie Reeves. Congrats to Bill Nelson for getting the correct answer. Everyone else, don't worry, your chance to win is coming up later on in the show. For now, let's get right into the big news of the week. Congrats to men's lacrosse for upsetting 10th-seeded UAlbany for only the second time in their Division I history, gaining bragging rights in the rivalry process. Ivy Spate has more.
It's the annual Crosstown Rival Game as men's lacrosse takes on nationally ranked Albany. Great Danes ranked number 10 in the nation, and 10 is actually a key number in this game. The two teams have met 10 times before. Saints have only won once in those games and have never beaten a top 10 team. Well, Great Danes strike first. That's Tim Cox, his 8th of the year. Actually, UAlbany, with the nation's highest scoring offense, would score the first 3 of the game. But Siena would finish the period strong. First goal of the game for the Saints comes from Connor Prunty. Saints still down 3-1, but it wouldn't last for long. Siena going on their own 4-0 run. This goal would actually give them the 4-3 lead. Prunty again, number 26 for him, and that's the end of the 4-0 run. UAlbany would tie it, but Siena finishes the period strong again. This time it's Danny Martinson scoring the last goal of the period, number 19 for him. Saints up 5-4 at the half. Fast-paced offense in this one didn't stop in the second. Just 38 seconds in, Richie Hurley gives Siena their biggest lead of the game. It's 6-4. And that would be the biggest lead for either team. Once again, UAlbany would tie it up, but once again, Siena finishes the period strong. 3 seconds to go in the third. Thomas Schoner, his 8th. Siena up 7-6, and now they start to believe. Great Danes not on their heels, though. They would score 3 of the next 4. This tally from Derek Eccles gives UAlbany a 9-8 lead. Well, coaches always say the most important minutes are the beginning and the end of a period. And the Saints showed why today. They finish up the 4th period strong as well. Connor Prunty completing the hat trick to tie the game, 3:10 remaining. And also remember, we said the magic number today was 10. Well, it's 9-9. The 10th goal might win it. And it does. And it goes Siena's way. Prunty's 4th of the game, 28th of the year, less than a minute to go. And Siena would pull it off. They score the final goal of each period and earn just their 2nd win over a nationally ranked team in program history.
And if you think this game doesn't mean anything to these two schools, you're not looking at the players or the crowd.
The last time Siena beat UAlbany was 2010. Brent Herbst made a save with 5 seconds to go to ice it. Today, Sharp makes the save with 2 seconds to go, and Siena beats UAlbany for just the 2nd time as a D1 school.
The Siena softball team is coming off a big week, going 5-1, including a split against preseason favorite Fairfield. One of the big reasons is senior shortstop Shannon Jones. Naya Bonilla had the chance to catch up with Shannon to talk about the season.
I'm here with senior softball player Shannon Jones. Hello, Shannon. I know you're in season right now. How's the season treating you so far?
Actually, we're playing really well right now. We actually have a shot where we're ranked number 3rd in the MAC right now, which is the highest I think we've ever been since my 4 years here. So I'm really excited about the rest of the season.
All right, that's great. I know you have a big weekend ahead of you. What's happening there?
We actually travel down to St. Peter's and Manhattan this weekend, and if we can get 3 out of those 4 games, we're sitting really pretty in the MAC going into our last weekend.
All right, and I know you're a senior now. You've had a lot of experience under your belt. Have you seen anything change for you since you've been a freshman here?
I've obviously loved every single team I've been on my 4 years here, but there's something special about the team this year and just the spunkiness, and I think being so young with only 2 seniors on the team that it's actually working to our advantage. Like, we have so much energy all the time. We're really feeding well off of each other, and I think everyone's just excited to step out on that field every single game.
All right, and I know that you're pretty local here. Did you always know you wanted to be a Siena Saint?
Actually, I didn't want to stay close to home at the beginning, but when I emailed Laj and Coach Parks, she was the coach at the time, within like 2 hours they called me back, and it just made me feel really special, and their interest in me just won me over.
And now it's time for our Siena Saints trivia question. As mentioned before, the men's lacrosse team defeated UAlbany for the second time in Division I history. Our question is, who scored the winning goal in their last win? If you think you know the answer, post it on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Siena Saints. That's all the time we have for this week, so let's take a look inside our up-and-coming schedule. Full slate of home games this week in Siena Athletics. Men's and women's lacrosse celebrating their senior day. The men take on VMI while the women host Niagara. And baseball opening up the series against Ryder on Saints Fest. On the road, men's and women's golf travel to Orlando to take part in the MAC Championships. The women looking to defend their 12th straight conference championships, which is currently the third longest in the nation. The only other sport on the road is softball as they travel to St. Peter's and Manhattan. Of course, we'll have all the news on next week's show. Until then, I'm BB Bugsh. Go Saints!
We love our Saints!